Let's get started. Today is the last class, session 13. We're putting everything together that we learned and show you how all these automation pieces come together. The biggest piece for today is Jenkins. Jenkins is an amazing tool. It is a piece of software that is a server level software. It doesn't have a desktop icon like Google Chrome or so forth. It doesn't, because it is a server level. You can only access it through a port. Now, typically Jenkins is downloaded into your company server, and to access Jenkins face, there is no CMD or black screen, white screen. It's in your browser. Okay? In your browser, if you type in localhost after downloading, localhost 8080, that's the default port for Jenkins, then you're going to see the screen of the face of Jenkins. And then you log in, and just real quickly, this is how it's going to look like. I'm going to install this on your computer so y'all can play with it, learn from it. I'm just going to have it downloaded on your device. We're going to link one test project into this. We're going to run it in Jenkins with a headless browser, meaning browser will never open, but it will go in and test the website. And we're going to take a look at the report. After that, what you do with it is up to you. And you can study this more. This is not something you would need to get the job. This is advanced. This is what the setup of Jenkins is, what the automation architect does when they build their projects and things like that. So if you want to become an architect and you are the test lead of a company, this company does not have any automation in place, you're going to need to learn how to do this. What I'm going to show you today's class is enough for you to actually do it for another company. But it's not all that fancy. There are other things that you need to set up. You can Google or watch YouTube videos. There's Udemy courses. You can do that and extend and learn from it. Okay? But I'll get your feet wet and you can get started with that. They do ask a few questions in the interview as far as how do you run your test cases? How do you usually run your test cases? Your company test cases. It's always through Jenkins. Okay? Jenkins run our test cases. When? 2 a.m. Okay? 2 a.m. Let me write this. File, new. Okay. Oh, let me just save this. How does your company run test cases? Answer: through Jenkins. When? Automatically at 2 a.m. can you run individual test cases for a certain group of test cases in Jenkins? Or just may say, can you? Answer is yes. For local and on Jenkins through tags. Okay. Each test case, you can tag it with a test case number, and it may look like this. At the rate, your test case starts with a C. If it's C, 234, let's say. Case number 234. If you put this tag on top of your test case in Jenkins, you can just go in and say, I just want to run this. And Jenkins will run that. And you can have multiple of these. Your test lead may set it up where you have to put an OR word. Ours is like that. 249. You just wanted to run those two test cases, you just specify those two on Jenkins. It will run those for you and report it for you. Okay? Do what? You don't. And I don't have access to set up in my company. Two reasons. He doesn't want anybody to break anything. And that's one. And second reason, he doesn't want to give up all his knowledge. Otherwise, I'll go for another company and make more money and become a test lead. So he's trying to restrict some things, feel like he's superior. So I don't have access to change configuration. But you'll be admin today for your Jenkins, and you can change whatever you want. And I'll show you some things that you can learn. I learned it through YouTube. These guys don't know this stuff. So, and they were not teaching Jenkins much before. So I had to bring in and add more things here. While at it, a couple of things. Yes.
All companies use Jenkins. This is like a normal practice to use Jenkins to run the test cases and test it.
I wouldn't say all, but I could say most. If they have UFT, they don't use Jenkins. UFT has its own. But if they use Selenium or any other test automation tool, if they are aware of Jenkins and they have the expertise to set it up, then they do it like that. If they don't use Jenkins, then chances are there's nobody there to actually know how to configure Jenkins to run. I had this one guy got a job. He showed me his project. They were just running the project through their computer. And he's sitting there waiting, and he can't use his laptop while those things are running. Their company didn't use Jenkins. They don't know how to. I have a friend of mine who got a job and their company doesn't know, and he's starting to tell them that you could run it in Jenkins. And they were like, really? Oh, do you know how to do that? Like, no, I have never done it, but I can figure out, oh my God, you're so great. If you can do that, that'll be so great. I mean, a lot of people don't know. This is very new, but it's free tool.
It's true. Another company also, they were not using Jenkins, but they were talking for the DevOps. I never get a chance to work on that, but they are using DevOps. So is it the same thing?
Yes. So let's talk about DevOps. I actually had wanted to talk about DevOps right away here. What is DevOps? DevOps or DevOps engineers.
DevOps actually the same thing?
comes from the word development and operations.
It's like paid.
All the way to operations. Meaning these engineers, they take the code while it's being developed. They move the code from developed environment to dev environment. They move it to test environment or stage environment. And then sometimes they have a UAT environment. UAT, user acceptance testing, or beta environment. Okay. This is where only a handful of customers are given that software. To beta test, meaning I have 1,000 customers. I don't want to give this version of software to 1,000. What if there's a bug and it breaks everybody? They just handpick 5 people maybe and say, let's just shove it over here and then see if we get some complaints. Or the account got messed up. Or monies don't match. Okay? You hear the stories where like $1 million got transferred to somebody's account and then she's bought like Louis Vuitton purses and things.
Oh, really?
Spent all that money and then bank came back and saying, no, that's not your money. And then she said, well, I spent it all. So what are you going to do now? You never heard of this story?
No.
This was recent, like a year ago or so. So my doubt is probably it was a software issue, right? It was a software issue. They probably beta tested or something.
It was in Australia?
Here in the US.
Oh, it was like in Australia.
There was one in Australia. I hear a lot of this is happening nowadays.
Testers are not good.
Yeah. And then after the UAT, everything is good, then it goes to production. Or in short, it will be called prod environment. And these DevOps engineers take this code and move them to these environments. They handle this because they know how to handle this, and they don't want us to do this. How do they do it? They use the tool, also Jenkins. Okay?
Question.
Yes.
These DevOps engineers, they don't do coding. They don't do testing. They're just moving the developer's job from one environment to another environment. This is only job?
Not that easy. That Jenkins configuration, they need Jenkins, they need something called Dockers. Okay? There's something called Puppet. I may be spelling it wrong. Now there is something called Kubernetes. Okay? And you'll hear the word called containers. These are all softwares, free. Okay? With the help of these softwares, the way it does is they take a snapshot of dev environment and they create a Docker. With the Docker, they create some sort of a container. And everything goes, all the softwares goes into that container, all files. And then in that virtual container that you can't touch, feel, or see, the software, it automatically runs and launches the whole web application. Makes virtual connections to all databases and things. And then they start testing and see if everything is okay. Now, while that is being done, while it goes through that checkpoint to create that container, that path of doing that is called pipeline. Or you will hear the word build pipeline. Meaning that code goes through some checkpoints before it publishes. One of the checkpoint is your QA code. Okay. So your automation is part of that build pipeline. And it's one of the last steps. When everything, their compilation worked, integration worked, they have some integration test built in. Those came out fine. Everything is good to go. Last thing, now in that pipeline, it launches your code. And it's with that headless browser, it's gonna do all that testing virtually. Okay, while the code is still moving down from dev to test environment, it's going through that pipeline. And last checkpoint, if your test cases come out all passing, approved, now the code from dev is now transferred into test environment. Same thing happens again from test to here and to production. Okay? Question about this. Now for these Dockers, Kubernetes, containers and things, they have to write some codes. It's not just click of a button you configure. You actually have to write codes to configure those. More upper level stuff that I have no idea how they do. So you are gonna have a Jenkins, they're gonna have a Jenkins, they're not the same. They may look the same. When they open up, they log in the same. It looks like that. But you will see they have a whole lot of these things that doesn't make any sense. And in ours, we have something called DevOps. We click there, then there's another thing called release pipeline. And there's a test pipeline. Through that test pipeline, they move code from dev to test environment. And release pipeline, they move from test environment to production environment. Okay? So they have it set up with some codes and configurations that is beyond my knowledge. But if you want to become a DevOps engineer, you would need to learn Jenkins and these tools. You are welcome to put these tools on your resume. Not as you have experience working on them, but I don't know if you noticed there is an environment section in your resume. Environments. What environments did you work in? In that section, you could say Docker, Puppet, and whatever tools. If they ask you, do you have experience with Dockers, why did you put it on your resume? I worked in an environment where the developers, DevOps engineers, use these tools to in the build pipeline for releasing applications. But I don't have hands-on experience in configuration of these tools. Does that make sense? But they will know that you've been there. You, by just saying Docker and Kubernetes, oh my God. Who would know that? Kubernetes is very new. And as a matter of fact, I'm teaching you these things. I didn't know this when I went for the interview. Okay? So if you can just say that this is what the DevOps engineers in our company does, they have these tools, so we work with this. I didn't configure them, but this is what the environment did. These are great guys, and they make the most amount of money. And they have very little work, but when things go wrong, they're very stressed out. And they try to fix things. Sometimes they don't know the answer. I can hear it on my chat. We have a platform team. We call them platform team. And if something goes wrong, they get blamed. And I can see their communication sometimes. And a lot of the time, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know all the answers. They're probably looking it up on Google or the community sites. That makes me feel good. That I'm not the only person who doesn't know things. Even the top ones don't know things. So that's how this world is. Any questions before we move on? Okay, that was a mouthful of conversation. Where am I? Go to auto take notes again. Session 13. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. Now, before we continue with this, I didn't show you how to take screenshots yesterday. So let's go ahead and finish that up. We'll take a break, come back, install Jenkins, maybe take a break after that, configure Jenkins. I'll give you a project, which is right here. You can clone this project. This has 2-3 test cases. After you clone this project, we're going to link this project to Jenkins, run it, look at the report, done with the class. Okay? So, online, can I have a volunteer to walk you through the screenshot? No response. Okay, Robin, you default.
Yes.
All right, making you the presenter, and you guys can work along. So first thing, Robin, open up your project. No, don't do that one. No, we're going back to session 12, actually finishing up the screenshot thing. If you guys can keep up, feel free to. If you can't keep up, then just watch and ask questions. By the way, there are a lot of DevOps videos on YouTube too. If you can just skim through some of those, that would be great.
They use like the Java language to do coding or Python.
I don't know exactly if Kubernetes has their own way of writing codes. I don't know. But if you know Java, everything else should be easy. All right, open up this, expand the project a little bit on the left side. Let's take a look at what do we want to do, how we want to put the screenshot item. It would be nice if we had a base page and then put all that code there. Okay. So go to auto take notes, go to session 12. Let's copy some code from there. And there may be a dependency that you have to add for screenshot. So if you scroll down to the screenshot section, we need some jar files for screenshots. So this is DB connections, database. Yeah, keep going down. There's screenshot. These are the dependencies that you need. It's the same tool that we use for Excel file, Apache POI and POI OOXML. In addition to that, there is one called Commons IO. So we're going to take all these three, copy it, put it in a notepad, and then copy from there and paste it into your project POM file. And we'll see if it works. and align it. Okay. Now save it. Control S, and you will see it starts pulling the files from online. And once that's done, we want to look at Maven dependencies folder and make sure some of those things have arrived. All right, now expand Maven dependencies. And let's see if we have POI and comments. So these jar files are there. There are some classes that we're going to be using. All right, go back to the AutoTech notes. Let's take a look at the method that we're going to need. So here's this method. You can put it anywhere you want. It would be nice if you had a base page with everything there. And extend your test classes to the base page. And then do it there. Let's do this. We're going to put it in the page packet. And then we're going to have, before we do that, let's take a look at our test case. Go to the test case in Eclipse. Let's see where we wanna take the screenshot first. So open up a feature file. All right, and you can. Yeah, I don't want to run everything, so let's leave this out for now. Just to show you how screenshot works, let's probably work with this little piece. Okay. So when user navigates to new account page, then new account page should display. We need a proof. Did it really display? We need a proof, right? So we want a screenshot somewhere deep inside that statement, validation. So chances are your screenshot should go under the then. So control click on line 23.
So can we do upload test cases because we don't.
You don't have what?
That.
You don't have this test case? Oh, yeah. You have the top one,
yeah,
right?
Top and then.
Okay.
34, 34 and 32.
Yeah. Notice that this statement and this statement goes to the same method. So you all control click on line number 8. Okay? Because I just copied that, right? Yeah. So that will be totally fine. So Robin, go ahead and control click on line 23. That's the method. Here's the assert. Question. Should I put screenshot before this assert or after this? Why? Why not?
Before.
Why?
Because the fail
Mm-hmm.
want to go to the screen.
Correct. If I put it after the assert, if that page never showed up, execution is going to fail here, and it's going to exit. And it won't execute any more lines. So if I put screenshot underneath that, that screenshot will never be taken. And I wouldn't know what other page did it go to then. You know what I mean? So if I want to take the screenshot first and then let it fail, failed, but I still have the screenshot, and it's going to show me that maybe I was on a different page. It wasn't the dashboard page or new accounts page. Okay? Good job. So put your cursor on line 53. Let's do reverse engineering here because we want a screenshot and I'm going to bring it. Yeah, right in front of, on the left side of that assert word, and put an enter. You're just creating a line. Yeah. Now go in here on that line. What's the simplest method name you can have? Screenshot. So type in screenshot. Robin, type in screenshot. Okay, open close parentheses. This is going to be a method. And semicolon to close. Right now, it's not going to recognize what it is, but that's okay. This is how we want it. Let's make it happen. Go back to Autotech notes. Let's take a look at something. Look at what we need. So we got this method, and that method name is screenshot. It does take two things. One, WebDriver, and file path, meaning where do you want that screenshot to be saved? Yeah, and that's it. So, and how are we going to call it? If you scroll down, Robin, scroll down for a little bit. Yeah, just leave it there. So you have the screenshot. You have to pass the driver. The driver is going to take the screenshot. And you have to pass location where you want it. Okay. Good thing is, when you type that in there, that location will automatically be created. You don't have to go in and create. So that's your C drive. That's your first folder. I just put in A. You could type in any folder name you want. You could say screenshot. Screenshot folder. And that is your screenshot file name, because you may have, this could be accounts page screenshot. And then you could have dashboard page screenshot. It's going to save in that specific name order, okay, or whatever. And if you put in .jpg, it's going to save it as a JPEG file. You could put .png. It will save it as a PNG file. Whichever works for your system, okay? So let's go ahead and copy, scroll up. Copy this code right here into your notepad from public all the way down here. And then let's take it from the notepad. Go to the project and scroll all the way down for now. We're not going to put it in a base page yet. Go all the way even after that line 73, create another space there after line 73. Yeah, scroll up. Actually, you won't be able to anymore. That's okay. Paste it here. Okay. Now align it. All right. Hover over take screenshot and import screenshot. Hover over File. Do the same thing for the rest of this, from top to bottom. Wait. Do the bottom one. Java.io. If there are two imports, always be careful. If there's only one, close your eyes and import that. And file utils. Hang on. Who can tell me which one? Why?
Because we have a dependency.
Because we have the dependency for related to this particular one, so that's what we want. Correct. So take the first one. All right. Let me explain this code. Don't do anything yet. Just scroll down. First, it takes your WebDriver and it casts the WebDriver into another class called text screenshot. Okay. So it's taking that your WebDriver and it's going to casting is like really beating him up. He doesn't want to do it, but we're forcefully doing it for him. We're gonna blend him into a screenshot class, and we're gonna save him into the text screenshot class with the reference name SCR shot in short. You can do whatever name you want. Now, he is the modified driver, but now he has some powers extra with this casting of the text screenshot. He can take screenshot. So when you take that reference name and put a dot, you will see a whole bunch of other options come up that he's able to do. One of them is take screenshot as. And that takes the screenshot and converts that screenshot into a file. Okay? This file is getting stored in a file class with the reference name source file. It's nowhere, it's in Java. It's virtual file. You can't touch it, feel it. But Java has it while your program is running. But we need this file saved in your computer so that we can access it later. Right? So to do that, you have this file, you create a new file class and you provide this file path. This is the path that when we call the method, C drive, whatever the path you want. First goes here, then comes here. So C : folder name, and then the file name. All of that goes in here. And you instantiated that class, you saved it in that class, we call it and gave it a name destination file. Okay? So now you have two things. One, you have a source file, Java has it, and you just created a new file in your local drive. Here's a class that can copy the source file that Java has and save it into your local destination. All you have to do, it has a copy file method built into this class, comes with those dependencies we downloaded. You pass these two file locations into the parameter as a parameter. This method takes that file from Java, saves it into your local. You can control click on this and look at the code that they wrote. Okay? You have access to all codes by just control clicking, and go deeper and deeper into Java. But all that is not needed. You just need to know how to. Now, you will never have to do this for you. It's already done. You just have to call the method. How are we going to call it? We're going to take this word. So copy the screenshot word. Robin, you can scroll up to where we actually call the method. And if you hover over, it's going to say you didn't give me the driver, and it requires some sort of string. That's not a good word. It should be like file path. Let's fix that. Scroll down. All the way. It does say file with that.
It's showing the type.
This shows the type, not the. Yeah, it would have been nice if it showed what string to put in, but that's okay. All right, scroll up. Go ahead and scroll up to the method call. And you're not going to put in WebDriver, you're going to type in driver. Because driver is that actual Chrome driver. So type in driver, put a comma, and because it's a string, double quote twice. And in here, type in the file path. We want it to be saved in the C drive. So type in C, colon, and it takes a certain way. So go to this auto take notes. Let's take a look at the example then. It takes 2 slashes. I'm not sure if this is forward, backward. Yeah. So go ahead and, yeah, backwards, 2 backward slash. And give it a file name, whatever name you want to call it. Like a folder name, sorry, not file. This is going to be the folder name. Again, followed by 2 backward slash. One more. And give it any file name you want. Screenshot 1, pizza 1, or new account page.
But on the workplace, the screenshot should be related to the test case, right? Should be like a reasonable thing.
Yeah. How you want to organize it. If you organize it, it's better. So Robin, give it a name, new account or picture 1. That's fine. .jpg. Okay. Save it. Control S. Okay. Add throws declaration. Sure, that should be fine. That ought to do it. Save again. Error went away. You ready to run it? Okay. Go to runner class. Right click on the runner and run.
Question. If we run the test case again, so the previous screenshot is going to be erased?
Replaced by this one. Yes. That way you don't have too many files stacking on top of one another, because it will take up a lot of memory and your server might run out of space. So there he goes. Here's the new account page. It goes in here, takes the screenshot, validates. Did we fail it or somehow? On purpose we failed it, right? Okay. So we don't care about whether it passed or failed. We just want to see if it took the screenshot, right?
It did.
So go to the File Explorer, go to your C drive, and what did we give the name? See, it already automatically created. You didn't even have to create that folder. And there's the screenshot. Go ahead and open that up. Double click on that screenshot. Robin, you can double click on it. What's going on?
Download.
There. That's the screenshot. Good? Clear? Simple, right? Okay, how about now clean up the code? Let's close this up, go back to your test class, and we're going to clean this up. We want to use this screenshot method in many classes. Does that mean, scroll down, Robin. Does that mean we're going to have to copy paste this method in every single class? That would be too much. Messy. We can put it in another class. Basically. Okay? So go open up the steps packet. Because this is a steps class, we're going to create a father class in here. And in here, right click on steps. Robin, right click on steps packet. Yeah, right click there. New, create a class. This is going to be the father, parent class for all your steps class. Anything that you're going to be using repeatedly, dump it all in here. Okay? Like scroll up and down. Close whatever you need to. Yeah. So let's give it a reasonable name. This is called steps. We can call it steps based. Pascal case, steps based. Base, B-A-S. In base class, you can. But because we're calling here and not calling in the base class, we might as well just leave it here. Otherwise, we would have done it. Now, for your page packet, you can also have a base page. And there, you can dump all the other stuff that you're going to use from the page class, like what?
Close, scroll up or down, and the screenshot method.
One in particular.
Driver.
Page class uses one method repeatedly.
Wait.
Right. Explicit wait. You can say wait for element. You can create a method there. Wait to be clickable. Wait. You can have multiple of those methods. Wait and click. Then in that case, it's going to wait and click. So you can bundle all those things however way you want. Okay. So this we're going to call this steps based. Robin, change that page word to base. B-A-S-E. No caps there. All right, now finish. Okay, copy the method from that steps class. New account steps. It's open up there on the tab. Scroll down. Copy this thing. Press Control X to cut it off. That will copy it as well. Now go to your base, steps base, paste it here. All right. Now go back to new account steps. Notice the method is not recognized here. What do I need to do for this method to get recognized? Extend it. So scroll up all the way up to the class declaration. There's that class, public class, new account steps. Type in extends and that steps base class. Save it. Align it. Scroll down and see if the error went away. Go to steps base class, save that. It didn't save that. Save this. There. Looks like not until you save it, it doesn't compile and recognize. It gives you error. And now, screenshot method is totally fine. So if you extend all your steps classes to the base, steps base, you could be just calling it like that. Yeah. Okay. Now we want to run it again, and let's see if it works. Go to your runner, right click, run as, all right, let's go back to your file explorer and see if we still have that.
We should rename it.
No.
If you want to rename it, you can. If you want to just check to make sure that whether this new one or is it the old one, you can rename it and you'll see a second file come up. You can play with that. Yes.
How to get this screenshot of the report?
I was going to get to that. Out of the scope of this class.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to do that for your company, but if you are going as a test lead and you have to set up all these things, look up on Google and YouTube.
Yeah, because we already have a framework and we are getting the report in the
Yes.
set.
Yes. You may need a dependency, you may need a plugin, and you may need a little bit of a code, and it's going to take this file and attach it to your report. Okay? If any more questions? No more questions? Then take 10 minutes break, come back, and we're going to download Jenkins. Let's get started. For you to configure Jenkins, you have several things that you have to do. And I have summed it up in here. But this page is still under construction. I have problem with finishing things.
You always have access to this website, right? Forever?
Forever.
Thank you.
Yes.
I asked that too.
But this morning I added some more clarifications here, so this is a little bit better than what I had before. If you go all the way down onto session 13, you will see Jenkins configuration title. You must have these prerequisites But over a period of time, by watching my installation video, you probably already have system environment set to Java home, Maven underscore home, M2 underscore home, provided the build path, the path of the file there. You're gonna need to clone this project. We're first gonna check to see if you have those. If not, we're gonna try to fix them. And then we're gonna clone this project into our Eclipse local. After you clone it, this project is gonna come with Chrome driver 79. If yours is not 79, you need to copy paste update that Chrome driver. Then you're gonna build and run the project in your local, making sure everything is fine that is running. And then you're gonna follow the steps to download the Jenkins. Once the Jenkins downloaded, here are the configuration steps. There are 3 levels. First, we have to set Jenkins with wherever you have your Java or JDK. Okay? And that's where that Java underscore home will come in. We're gonna configure your Jenkins with Maven. And that's where we're gonna have to give the path of where the Maven is located in your computer. Level 2, you're going to add some plugins. We're gonna add a lot of plugins because I don't really know which one is most important and which one might break things. I have not experimented going back and forth. So to be on the safe side, more is better. More plugins you have, better. Therefore, we're gonna download plugins for Maven, and we're also going to add plugins for GitHub. Once those plugins have been added to Jenkins, we're gonna create a test run like this. These are your project test run. And there's a bit of a configuration there. So I'll walk you through these steps and we'll configure that. And then we're gonna be ready to kick off the automation. And we're gonna look at the report and see how it goes, okay? So, Robin, you wanna do this again?
Sure.
All right. All right, you all do the same. Again, if you can follow along, I'm going very slow, but I cannot go any slower than this. So if you feel like you're falling behind, just watch, ask questions, and watch the video later to complete it. Type in CMD in the search box, and let's take a look at your environment, making sure, is it okay? So type in Java space dash version. Don't forget the dash. Enter. That gives you a version 8, 1.8. We need that. You can also do JAVAC, Java compiler space dash version. That will show you the JDK version. That should also be 1.8. If you have those 1.8, you're good. If you have a different version, bad. It's not gonna work. Now we're gonna check to see Maven. So type in MVN, M Mike Victor Nancy space dash dash version and enter.
This time,
Yeah.
Mine says Java. Mine says Java C 1.8 underscore 221. Is that correct?
I'm looking at your reported. Oh no, this is not Robin. This is Song. Yours says
Yes,
what?
sir.
Like this.
Is it 1.8?
My Java compiler. I'm sorry.
Do you have 1.8? What are the rest of the numbers? I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Does
Got
it
you.
show 1.8? That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and we got the Maven version, and there's that version number, so we know that we have that. Okay, so we're good here. Now we're gonna see if we set up the environment variables correctly. So close this CMD, we're done here, and go to this search box and type in environment, or just type EMD. It's gonna show up. First suggestion, right there. Hit enter. That's gonna load up. And click on environment variables. So we're gonna look for three things. One, Java underscore home, M2 underscore home, and Maven underscore home. Under the Java underscore home, it should have the JDK path. Under the M2 and Maven, both are same. The Maven path. Okay? If you don't have it, we gotta add it. Who doesn't have it? You don't have Maven.
Yeah.
If you don't have Maven, then here's what you're gonna do. Click on New. First, hold on. Make it easier. You have M2 underscore home, correct? Double click on it. Robin, do the same. Double click. Copy this path. The variable value. Now cancel this window. Go to New. After clicking New, over here, all capitalized, variable name, type in Maven underscore home.
Do I need to do as well?
Can you double click on the, yeah.
I have the same problem with Spanish practicing.
Not clicking?
Windows 7.
How's that, right?
Older Windows? Okay. All right, here's another way. Robin, click on the File Explorer down here. You guys do the same. File Explorer. File Explorer, the yellow file folder. Go to C drive. We're gonna have to copy it from way down there. Okay. Program files, I think on the first one, if not, maybe second one. It is the first one, there's Maven. Double click on Maven. Double click on Apache Maven 3.61. Copy the path from here. Click on that path, just on the right side of it, like right here, a little more to the right. No, yes, click that. There you go. It has converted into a path. Now copy that. Okay. Go back to your system environment variable. Click on New.
Mine is disabled.
This is disabled. You don't have administrative access. Are you not the administrator on this computer? Your username, anybody else using this laptop? Okay, watch. And we'll see if we can figure this out later. Now type in all caps Maven underscore home.
I have one, maybe I'm
I know. You are not gonna save it. I'm
okay.
just gonna make you do it so class can see. Underscore home and type paste that path over there. And you don't have to click OK, but you guys need to. Are you all with me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can we move on?
I don't need it if I have it.
If you have it, you don't need it. Did yours resolve?
She had to add it on the top.
Not the top, on the bottom.
Still have it.
Okay. Can I see real quickly? I have 1 minute.
You added.
If it is, I don't know. At that point of time, so that was how
It was not like that, but I cannot take the new one.
at that point of time also when you were installing Java, when you didn't ask how you didn't ask
He
if
told me like I did everything. He went
settings and all.
You went into the wrong. Yeah. You picked up the wrong system environment window.
Oh, system environment window there were two system environments.
Not this one, but it has to be in the system environment. So you went on this one.
Yeah.
And that's why it can be now.
Yeah. That was not really okay.
Oh, there are two. So added to your here or here? He added a system. You went there.
Okay, well, all right, good. Now, Robin, hit the cancel button. Next thing you need to check, if you scroll down on this system variables window, there's something called path. Double click on this path, it's going to open up a window. In this window, you should have those two links, those two paths. One for JDK, but it should have this extra bin in it. And one for Apache Maven, and it should have that bin extra that we didn't add it there. If you have those two, good. If you have more than one JDK in here, you need to delete it.
Oh.
You have more?
Yeah.
Do you have a one with the 12? Those are gonna get into an issue. So if you have this 1.8, just keep that, delete everything, delete all other JDKs. Just click on it and delete.
For me, it's not showing any.
I
I
have
have two of those.
You don't have any? You need to add them.
Question. If I have
I
more
don't
than
have any.
The other tabs are fine.
I have JDK and I have as well, but it's fine. But I don't know.
If you want to take a chance. I've done it with the 12.
Yeah, I already done it.
Okay.
I can just leave it.
Yeah, yours is the older. Why?
I can tell you.
Fine. See, I just checked. It's all in one line. Versus this is showing him in a better view. Yours, all of them were in one line. But you have those. Okay? Good? Moving on. Raise your hand if you're here so far. Okay. Okay out on this window, Robin. Click OK. Click OK. You don't want to cancel because you made some changes, then it's not going to save. And OK on this one. So all those changes have been saved. Now you are almost ready. So scroll down to that configuration window. Let me see. Check here. Yeah. Let's clone the project. So go ahead and copy the URL, project URL from top there. This project URL might cause some issues. Paste it into a WordPad. Notepad. Okay, copy from here. Go to your C drive. Create a new folder called Jenkins projects, no space, Pascal case. Okay, enter. Let's bring the file in here. So click open the folder. Right click on this window. Git bash here. Control plus to expand a bit so the class can see what you're typing in. And drag the window to the right. Type in what? Get in it. And what? Space. Right click on that cursor. And something went wrong. Go up. I didn't paste it. You have to copy it again. It didn't copy anything before.
Oh, he's doing control V.
No, he did right click on it, but he did.
From the notepad? Yes.
From notepad, it didn't copy.
Notepad.
Yeah, this, copy that. Anybody got 100%? Okay, good job. All right, error, git clone, right click, enter. Who got a 400 error?
Yeah, he got 400.
Anybody else got a 400 error? Working?
No.
400? Yours, the link, the URL is bad. So let's do it this way. There's a workaround from that. Robin, just hang tight. Let me just take this over for a second. What are you gonna do is take this project path. Okay, Rustam, copy it and open up a browser window and paste it here. Hit enter. and see if this page opens up. Did it open? You got it?
Not found.
No, there is something wrong. You are taking the link.
Where are you taking the link from?
Which link you are taking?
Mm.
When you go to the office account? No, not this link. You have to go up.
Robin, give me a second online, folks. Give me a couple of minutes.
First thing. You are taking the wrong link.
Oh, this
The
one.
project
Okay.
link here.
This one.
Get dash here. Get dash here. Here. This one. And then get in. Did you copy paste the link? Get in. Get paste in it.
Anybody else has problems? Online folks? Anybody else? Anybody has problems or errors on cloning this project? Okay, good. Moving on, Robin, back to you. All right, you can close out this git bash. Check to see if the project downloaded into your file.
Yep.
The file is here. Let's go ahead and open up Eclipse and let's see if this works. So go to Eclipse. Go to File. We're gonna change the workspace. Go to File and then go to Switch Workspace. Remember, one Eclipse window with one project. So go to Other and look for that folder. Go back up and just click on that Jenkins project, and that's it. You don't want to double click it. You just want to click it once and select that folder. And it should just say Jenkins project. That's it. Now no farther inside that. And then launch it. Let the Eclipse close out. Come back up. Connect it to that workspace. Okay, delete or X out the welcome screen. Maximize the Eclipse window. Let's bring the project in. Click on File. Then go to Import. Then go to General. Existing projects into Workspace. Next. Browse. Just click once on that Tech Files Beginner. You don't want to double click it and go inside it. Select the folder, finish, wait for the project to show up on the left side. Keep your eyes on the bottom right hand corner while the project is downloading all the dependency files, which is down here. Okay, looks like everything downloaded here. And expand the project. Let's take a look at it. this is the time for you to update your driver if yours is not 79. Raise your hand if yours is not 79. Everybody is 79? All right, awesome.
I don't know.
I think you checked yesterday. 76.
79.
79. You checked yesterday.
29.
Yeah, 79.
Then you're good. What is yours, Deepika?
This is 76.
76? Then you have to delete this one. So expand, Robin, expand this folder, the driver folder, sorry. You can't see my writing. And right click on this Chrome driver.exe. And Deepika, you're going to be doing this. And don't click delete, but Deepika, you would be deleting that Chrome driver. Okay? Delete it? All right. Now, open your File Explorer.
It's not deleting. It's not allowing me to delete.
Let me see.
No, not that.
Because your Chrome driver is backend still. Okay. And do you have your version of the driver saved?
Not your working
Somewhere.
today. One time you got extra.
Right.
Where you
That one?
I'm tired. You're tired of all this.
Right. Anybody else have issues with Chrome driver?
Online, I think so has been online.
Can you speak up? Can I? Who had issues with Chrome driver?
Mine is 76.
And were you able to update it? Like replace the file? Or do you want me to walk you through?
Yeah, please.
Okay, you're the presenter. Share your screen.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to that another computer. Okay. I'm already logged in. Let me get that code.
Guys, let's take 5 minutes break. Everybody update your Chrome driver. Okay? Just go ahead and delete the project one and add your 79 version into it. And show them, yeah, what you need to do is delete that, yeah. Like to delete. Go to Google Chrome. If you already have done this, you're fine. If not, just you can watch. I'll show them through this. Type in Google and search for download Chrome driver. Go to google.com. Click on that 79 version. and the one for Windows 32.
So I will delete it. No, 79. So I will delete here in the project.
Click on it.
Yeah, 79. Put everyone 79.
Open up that file on the left. Click on the downloads folder on the left side. Right click on that Chrome driver. Extract all. No, it's okay. And extract. There. Now copy that. Click on it and Control C. Go to your project and right click on drivers. Paste. There, you're done. Just wait for the next instruction. Let's come back in 3 minutes. All right, getting back here from 10 minutes break here. Robin, you still there?
Yes.
I'll making you the presenter again. Go to Eclipse. Let's make sure the project runs. Okay. So now right click. Actually, just open up. Yeah, right click on the project name and build. Maven build. If everything goes well, it's also gonna launch the test cases. Go to Run As, Maven build. Okay, run. Okay, expand the window so I can see the console a little bit more. Scroll up a little bit more. You gotta be kidding me. It's only supports version 76. Did you get the same error?
No, it's the same.
Should be fine with, unless the dependencies are strictly to this particular version. Do it again.
What? The third time. I did third time. Fourth time.
My mistake.
Yours is still trying to launch 76. Robin, you'd never changed your Chrome driver. Am I right? Robin?
Mine is 69.
Does it tell you what version it is? Properties?
Not like that.
If you double click on it, does that show you? Double click on it.
Cancel this. Yeah, it's 76.
So
That's right.
yours is you forgot to put it updated to 79. What about y'all? Run it again.
How to change GTK, GRE to GTK in preferences?
Can't answer that now. Give me some time. I need you guys to download
Okay.
Jenkins. I'm even not being able to do that because of all these roadblocks. Worst case, I'm just gonna have to show you in my own platform. You don't have already the 79 version downloaded? And could you please double check? Click on that 3 icon. I want to see what version your Chrome is. At the top right corner. Go to Help, About Google Chrome. Yeah, 79. Go ahead and download 79 real quick. You probably already have it somewhere, but you most likely don't know where it is. Open it up. Yeah, extract. Okay, copy this, Control C. Take it to the project. This is you guys' last chance. If you don't have your Chrome driver updated, we spent an hour on this, I think, by now. Delete it first. Right click, delete. Okay, press OK. Press Alt, Control Alt Delete. Press Control Alt Delete, all at the same time. Press and hold Control Alt Delete.
I did.
Robin, that should open up the task manager. It's down there.
Yeah.
It opened up, but it's there, right there. Right click on that Chrome driver. End task. Close out this window. Oh, there's more. There's more background process there too. Do it again.
And Java.
Yeah. End task those.
And double click on this tab.
Right, I think it's the issue returns. Now you made it very clean.
Yeah. You need to
The
change
path.
it.
All right, close this window.
Java.
Yeah.
Java, double click Java. And copy the path from
All right, now delete it.
Java and then install Java.
Now copy the other one. Don't paste it here.
Double click.
Copy. Or drag and drop it there. That's the best thing.
We have to copy the path.
All right. Now Maven build the project.
can do it. And one. No, don't go down. No, don't go down.
Apply and close.
Yes.
Then I think it will.
Build again.
Maven will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Did your issue fix?
Yeah, we are changing from JRE to JDK. We all got the different issue. JRE
I
issue.
thought we've dealt with that issue with the Eclipse long time ago.
No, but we did. But after importing this project, we are getting in the environment variable in the references, Windows preferences.
Okay.
Like that.
Okay, we'll double check that. All right, you're good to go. Now, for those of you who had problems with JDK JRE, this is what you need to do. Robin, yours is fine, but we're just going to walk you through it. Click on Windows. Oh, no, not that one. The Windows tab on Eclipse. Go to Preferences.
Very good.
Do you need to? You did this already? Okay. You guys, if you're having issues also, and online anybody else, open Java. Click on Java. See where it says installed JRE? Double click that. And this path here, this should be JDK. Yours is JRE. That's gonna cause problem. So what you do is double click on this, and Robin, do the same, please. Double click on this link, and it opens up here. Deepika, with me?
Yeah.
Click on directory.
Again, the JRE. Did you see that?
With me so far? Now, click on Java. Okay. See, there is a 3-point version he has, and there is a JRE. You should be selecting this one. So, Robin, go ahead and click JDK. JDK 1.8, not that one. Okay, and then say select folder. I think you may need to go one step in, right, with the bin.
No, we don't have.
No,
to.
no,
We
no.
have to just say.
Yeah.
Can you cancel it? Let me look at the link again. Cancel this.
Because we selected only the.
Double click on that link again. Yeah, no/bin.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we don't need to go that far. Just go back to the directory again and click on Java and make sure you just select that and then say select folder. Got it? And then click on select folder and then click finish, apply and close. Now build the project and raise your hand if yours passes. Pass? Pass. When are you?
This is one. No, but the file is wrong.
Stein, I have a question.
Who is this?
Durga.
Hi, Durga.
Yeah, when we go like that process to get a JDK in the window, we'll get both. So we'll delete JRE from that folder or leave it there.
Good question. JDK has JRE. you don't need JRE. Having that JRE there is just adds another problem. Every once in a while, Eclipse will load up and go into that folder. Instead of taking JDK, it might take JRE, and then your test cases are failing. I would not recommend deleting that if you already have it though, because it messes up the system. But you never need to download JDK. JRE. You only need JDK. So when you do it, like for example, I don't think I have JRE. Let me check. To keep things clean, Java, well, I guess it came in as a bundle.
Because it's a kit, Java development kit.
Yeah.
The name is like kit.
Yeah. So it came with that bundle, but this needs to point it to that. Okay.
Now
So everybody good?
Yeah.
Her is like showing some other error related to Chrome driver, but we already updated 79, but still we are getting.
All right, guys, give me a second.
Driver executable is not accessed. This is from you. That's it.
You can download anything from GitHub. You have like a unique website, and they have a link to GitHub. You can download all the projects from GitHub, but all the rest information.
We have to get it.
But typically there's like common drivers that are open. It is pointing to the issue of driver executable does not this.
I didn't like the
Driver is not able to find it.
That's the hard drive. Copy the drive somewhere. I mean, I think only one.
Saved it here.
But you can copy everything what's important. Pictures, movie, or information, whatever you keep it now, you copy everything from the external hard drive. And then you just install the brand new window. It's going to be 10 and it's going to be. But if you have 7,
Can we go inside the Jenkins project? Is it there or not? Because it's showing it's not there. What I can do is, can you expand the driver folder?
Driver and drivers.
The path is. I've never done that. But how come she also cloned it, right?
You can copy.
You did modify it on your own?
I haven't crossed there.
How come? That's why she cloned it too.
Download most of the project.
No, you don't. Yeah, it's okay.
You're welcome. Anybody else? So we're all good? Ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, project working and online. Did anybody have any issues? Speak up now.
Stan, this is Durga again.
Durga, can you share your screen?
Yeah.
See, I usually don't
Mm,
troubleshoot in the class because then it can take the whole day and not be able to get to. That's why I do the video and you guys watch. I would love you to do this hands-on in class, but again, it's gonna take whole day. It's gonna take whole day. Everybody's gonna have different kinds of issues, and troubleshooting them, it can take forever.
you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah, here is, I'm talking about, here is JDK and JRE in the Eclipse. So can I delete the bottom one JRE from here or no?
Yeah. Durga, I'm looking at your project and looks like you have two projects in this Eclipse window. So somewhere down the road, you may have lost me because we were only supposed to have one project in this window. Remember?
Oh, okay.
So do me a favor.
Yeah.
Just go with it right now, whatever you can. And then if it doesn't work for you, if it fails down the road, just watch my video, do it all over again. Okay?
Yeah, I understand, but I'm getting this problem so many times, and I have all my project. There is JDK and JRE in this window, and just want to make sure. Can I
Look,
delete the bottom one
yeah,
or no?
yeah, you should delete the bottom one. You should never have
Oh,
JRE in here. So just delete it. Click on it.
okay, okay.
Click
Thank
on
you.
that, and remove icon should come up.
Maybe.
Or double
Maybe.
click on it. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Now
Now
remove
here
it.
is remove.
Done. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Feel free to play around with this software. Guys, you're not going to break anything. Okay? If you see something weird, delete, remove, clean it up. All right. Robin, going back to you.
Okay, ready.
Cool. Let's go download Jenkins. So go back to that auto tech notes. And now in here where it says Jenkins installation, there's a video there you can watch. YouTube video walks you through the same steps. If you just wanted to watch that. So that link, click on that link. What's wrong with your? When you get to this link right here, if you scroll down, you will notice that there are two different types of Jenkins. One is a long-term version and the other is a weekly release. The weekly releases have the latest code, but they also have bugs in it. It's the safest to go under the long-term release, and you will see there's a Windows. This is for Windows platform. So if you click on Windows, it will take you to the right download. And I noticed that you're still using Internet Explorer. Any reason why? Robin? Okay, save it. Because Chrome will automatically download it here. Won't give you this window. I don't know how compatible it's gonna be. Okay.
Yeah, go to the and then Windows, go down.
Open folder, go ahead. Right click, extract all. That's fine. You can extract it here, or if you want to extract it to a separate folder, you could also browse from here. But here's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and copy this. Even though it's downloaded in the download folder, right click, copy. Go to your C drive. Let's organize it, put it in a nice little place. So next time we need it, we'll launch it there. We'll know exactly where. In here, go to program files, because all programs, Java, Maven is in here, you might want to create a folder called Jenkins. So create a new folder, name it Jenkins. Get into that folder. So double click on that folder. In here, right click and paste the Jenkins file. Okay. Right click on Jenkins and go to properties. Can you tell me what is the file extension? Or what type of file is this? When they talk about file extension, it's that dot something. .msi, MSI stands for Microsoft Installer. This is a file that will install something for you. Anytime you see MSI, those files install something. Microsoft Installer. If it's zip, then you need to extract and get it out. So that you get MSI. MSI is what you're going to double click to run. Okay. Raise your hand if you got to this far. Anupa, still downloading? Okay. Let's give it a couple of seconds. You can cancel this window. Leave this one open because you're going to be double clicking here to open the launcher.
If it is in download folder, can you just make a folder and save it somewhere? Just you did for program. Save it somewhere. No. Right click and see the property. What is that? You want to exit area. Save it and exit.
How come you don't have a mouse yet?
That's difficult without
$10.
I do have a
Okay. I even got the
Keyboard also.
because I hate this. It takes so long to type things. You don't have to. As long as you can see this file, that's fine.
She can see.
Okay. Okay. Just be there. Double click on it. Robin, you can do that now. You can later on save it wherever you want to, but for now, double click. Let's get it up and going. First window comes up, hit next. This window is telling that it's going to store all that stuff in program files folder. Leave it the same. Next. This window, click install. Windows will ask you saying yes or no. Click yes if that's the case. Robin, your firewall may be asking on the back end somewhere. That's why your installation has been paused. Don't close that, but minimize all other windows. And minimize everything. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Raise your hand if you need more time. In this window, click Finish. Now, don't touch anything. You will see something open up in here on. It's not supposed to. That's why I hate Internet Explorer. Can you close all Internet Explorer? I'll have you do it on the Chrome. Just close it out. Everything. Just close the whole Internet Explorer thing out. Okay, open Chrome. Now type in localhost colon 8080. No space. Again, no space. Localhost colon, not semicolon, just be careful there. 8080. Enter. For some of you, it should have already automatically come in with the Jenkins, some information. Yeah, I would close everything else. Just have this open. Maximize the screen. It can take a few minutes, depending on the internet connection. Raise your hand. How many of you see the window with this information? Good job. Okay, now it's going to ask for a product password to activate this product. Actually, it came with that MSI file. It's telling you where it is. This is the path of where that product ID is located. There's a folder called secrets, and there's a file called initial admin password. Fastest way to do that, to get to that, is just copy this URL or copy this path from left to right or right to left. After copying, you go to File Explorer, open that up, and in this search box, click on it and paste it there. And hit enter. It's asking you, I got the file. What application do you want to use to open it? Just use Notepad. Click on Notepad and say OK. And there's your product key. Copy that. Everybody's going to be different. So take that product key, paste it in this window, and then click on Next. Or continue.
Will we get the code different each time? Yeah,
Most likely. Okay. If you get to this window, click on Install Suggested Plugin. This will give you a standard set of plugins that will come with it. You can also customize that later. And this could take a few minutes, so let's take 5 minutes break if you need to while this is loading. I'm going to pause the video.
Yeah, sure.
All right, folks. Next, you get this window is asking you for credentials. Be very careful what you put in here because you need to remember this, and you need this to get back in there if you get it exited for some reason. For username, give it your first name. Keep it all lowercase. For now, when you get expert at it, you can provide your own fancy stuff. Password, ABC123. Same password.
That's it, I think.
Confirm password. Full name, yeah, you can give your full name the way you want it. An email if you have an email address. I don't think it will do anything, but if you wanted test results to be emailed to you, then this would be the email that would default. Now, after you've done this, click on Save and Continue. This is just showing you localhost 8080 is the port that it uses to access Jenkins. You don't have to do anything, just click Save and Finish. That's it. Click on Start using Jenkins. Raise your hand if you got this window. Good job. Now, several configurations that you need. One, you need to add JDK and Maven path. So on the left-hand panel, there are these menus. Click on Manage Jenkins. And go to Global Tool Configuration. Click on that. All right. First thing, it has that JDK section. In there, you will see a button that says Add JDK. Click on Add JDK. You will see some information got expanded. One of the checkbox has been checked by default. It says Install automatically. Uncheck it. If you uncheck, two fields open up. One asks for name, other is the path. First field box, type in JDK, all caps. And bottom one, Java_home. Remember that environment variable? Whatever the path you had there is what's going to go in here. So if you want to search at the bottom left corner, type in environments or system environment. Today I noticed that some of you opened up this variable environment. That's not the right one. It has to be system environment. It should say edit the system's environment. And click on environment variables. Double click on Java_home. Copy that path. This path and that path has to be accepted. You can cancel, leave this window open because you'll need it for Maven as well. So go back in here, paste it into Jenkins. Hit the tab button. If everything goes well, it won't give you any error. Okay? No, don't click on it. Don't add that either. You already added one. So scroll down now. There should be another section for Maven.
Maven the first one.
There is another one.
It's not coming up.
So under the Maven section, do the same thing. Uncheck install automatically. Type in Maven, all caps preferred, and Maven underscore home. Go get that location from the system environment for Maven underscore. Copy that and paste it here. Wait just a few minutes for everybody else to catch up, and then all we're going to do is apply and save. If you got to this far, go ahead and click on apply. Robin, click on apply. A green bar might come up at the top saying save. Go ahead and save. Click on save again. Okay, get you back to this window. Raise your hand if you're up to this part. Good. All right, next is plugins. Let's get some plugins that we might think it probably needed. Probably not, I don't know. So go to manage plugins. We're gonna get two sets of plugins, one for Maven and one for GitHub, although we're not gonna be integrating GitHub today. You can play with it. There are some issues with GitHub and Jenkins recently. I don't know why, so it's not working. We're going to run your project from your local drive. Jenkins will pick it up from your local drive and run it. But Jenkins can also go to GitHub, pick the code, and run it. Okay? Bitbucket works, but I haven't experimented with it yet. So maybe next batch. Now, on the top, there's available tab. Click on that. After you click on available tab, go ahead and click on it. Top right corner, there's a filter search field. Click there, type in Maven, and then click enter. Now, all these plugins that are related to Maven showed up. What you do, for sure, there is a Maven integration plugin. I think that is the most important one. But anything that has Maven on the title, like this one, just go ahead and take it. Like Maven artifact, choice list, go ahead and check all those. Anything that has Maven in the title, check it, scroll down all the way. More plugins are better than less.
Even the second word if you
Even the second word, if it is, as long as it's on the title, take it. Just select it. There's one, pipeline Maven integration. Take that one too, Robin. All right, if you selected everything with the title that has the word Maven. Only if those titles have the Maven word.
But it's I think it's the main title. So
Don't worry about it. Now at the bottom left corner, there's a button that says install without restart. Click on that. This could take a few minutes.
Install without.
Restart. You can scroll up to see the top ones will be installed first. Some may get installed, others may have issues. We're not going to worry about it. Whatever we can get out of this. If you got to this far all the way, we're going to do the same thing for GitHub.
When you're done, you need to go back to something or you go down.
Yeah, you can. That one.
1 minute. Wait for
Right.
1 minute.
I'm sorry.
Yours is done too. Oh, right?
Another stage, please.
Again, your systems architect would be doing this, not you. So no worries. All right, done. You can scroll up or even click on that, go back to the top of the page, whatever. You may even have to go back. Scroll up, let me look at the situation. Okay, just go back to manage Jenkins again on the left side. Or manage plugin, whichever. Click on manage plugin. Scroll down. Go to manage plugin. Go back to available. Type in GitHub. Hit enter. Same thing. Check all the titles that have the word GitHub. Robin, you need to hit an enter because it didn't narrow down to your search. Okay, now.
I could have done warning sign here.
No
Did
worries.
you check it?
No, I didn't check
It's
that
fine.
one because
That warning is not a problem.
Okay, so we'll click it.
No, don't take the warning ones. Yeah, there may be some issues with that plugin, so don't take that. Git bucket, not needed. Just GitHub. Honestly, since we're not using GitHub at all, this may be just a waste of taking all this plugin. But I want you to have it in the future. If you try to experiment with GitHub, you might need this. But and if you select it, then click on Install Without Restart, the very left button. Give it a few minutes for all of these plugins to install. This is basically it. The next, we're going to create a Jenkins job. When you hear the word Jenkins job, it's actually a project running link. They call it Jenkins job because you're actually creating a job for Jenkins to do. The job of running all your. So Jenkins will run your business. All right. Anybody needs more time? Done. Let's go back up and go to the main page. You can click on Jenkins icon. It will take you to the home page. Okay. Two ways to create a job for Jenkins. One, at the very top left corner, it says new item. The other is where it says welcome to Jenkins. Please create new job. Both do the same thing. So click either one of those. All right. So this is how we create a job. It asks for give it a job name. Typically, it's which project are you running? We're going to be running tech files. So let's just call it tech files. Keep it all lowercase just for now. I don't know if that's tech files underscore test. Okay, you could have tech files smoke test, tech files underscore regression. Does that make sense? If you have another project, you could have another project name. You could have tech files prod, meaning it's going to test the production environment. You could have tech files underscore dev. Okay. Now click on Maven project underneath that. Yeah, because ours is a Maven project. And then make sure Maven project is selected and click OK. Yeah, bottom left corner, you'll kind of get it out. Yeah, click OK. Robin, go ahead and click OK. Oh, okay, it is processing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mine says error.
Goodness gracious.
It's in the already 8 page.
So you may have clicked OK twice.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay, no problem.
Yeah.
It was processing and it got it up.
Yeah.
So what you do is, Anupa, just go back to the main homepage and see it's there in the middle of the line.
Yeah.
Click on it. Now on the left panel, there's a configuration menu. Click on configuration. Okay, just stay here, follow along. Now here, this is where you configure what this job, you want this job to be. You can specify when to run it. Every night, every morning, 2 a.m. before you come to work, you can configure it here on the page. You want it to be emailed to certain people, you can do all that. I'm going to show you where it's done I'm not going to configure, put any numbers in there, okay? You also have to specify which project to run, okay? So first, let's go ahead and specify which project. So if you scroll down, go to the section called build. So scroll all the way down. Keep doing that. Build right here. Two things you need. One, you need the location of the form file, because that's what runs the whole project. And over here, who can tell me what am I going to type in here?
Go to run at
Clean install.
Clean install. Right? Okay. So open Eclipse. Let's go get the POM location from there. Right click on POM. Go to properties. And copy that location. See everything. Copy. And you can cancel this window if you want. Now go back to Jenkins. In that root form, delete that form.xml and paste your project form XML file location. And in goals and options, type in clean space install. Okay? This is it. That's minimum. You can now run the project, it will run it for you. But let's say you wanted to put in a timer that it will automatically run it for you. Scroll up and you will see there's an option here that build trigger. This is the trigger option that you need to play around with, and there's a lot to learn from here too. Build periodically, if you check this box, this schedule window opens up, and there's a specific way of writing when you want it. Type in 023 000. Jenkins has his own way of writing time. All these numbers for Jenkins, it means 11 a.m. or p.m.
Yeah.
p.m.
PM.
11 p.m.
Yeah,
So if it's a 2 a.m., you just Google, say Jenkins 2 a.m. clock timer. What is that? You will see some people post it. You just put that number, it's going to be 2 a.m. Okay? Right now, we don't want to mess around with it. Just go ahead and delete it out, uncheck this. So this is how it's done. And uncheck this build periodically. Not going to go there. Scroll all the way down. Here's your email setup, where it says email notification. Click there. You type in the email addresses of the people that you want each time it runs and gives you, but not going to do that, right? You can play around with it. It's up to you to explore. Go ahead and uncheck that. We're done. Okay. Now click apply and then save. Okay, and go to your home page. Let's take a look at that project. The job. So click on Jenkins on the top left corner. This will take you to the main page. We got it. That's, yeah, don't click on it yet. Let me explain something. This is a nice little thing to show you what projects are there that you can build. And you will notice there's a sun icon. This is just for fun. Sunny day is like your project has been passing. It defaults to sunny day first time. If this fails, this will become cloudy. Okay? If it fails again, it might show thunderstorm and rain, kind of like weather report. Okay? and it takes the average of how many times it ran, how many times it passed. Too many times passing, then it will eventually turn to sunny again. So it doesn't show you the last one. It always gives you an average of how many times you ran. This ball over here is grayed. It will turn red or blue depending on what's going on. If it finds some failures halfway, the ball will turn red and it will be blinking as it's running. So when you go to a company and you open up and they have a release going on and they're doing some testing, you may have a whole lot of these icons, globe icons, and you want to look for which one is blinking. If this is blinking, that's running right now. Somebody kicked off the run, and you might want to go in there and check the report for those. Okay. Now, we're going to kick it off. Other data it gives you is when was the last time successful, when was the last time failed, how long did it take to complete the whole run. Right now, because we never really ran it, it's not applicable, but it will populate with data as soon as we kick it off. Now at this time, go ahead and click on this icon and let's go inside it. Okay, Robin, click on text files _ test. Robin? Yeah, just double click on it or click on it once. You will notice that Jenkins, each time you go somewhere, this list of menu changes. Okay? They will change. For this particular job, textfiles.test, now you have an extra menu called Build Now. So if you click on Build Now, it will start building. Go ahead and do that. Click on Build Now. Right after you click on Build Now, pay attention to this right here. This is your first build. I want you to click on it. Click on this rolling bar. Yeah. Click on that. And then click on console output. This is what's happening in the console if you were to run it in Eclipse. Okay, so console out. See that? Gives me some information. Robin Bassnett ran this test suite, and here are all the downloads happening. First time when you run it, it loads a lot of things for the project from various places. Also, some of the plugins that you downloaded, it connects to those. It might take a little bit time. Second time, it's much faster. It doesn't do that anymore. So let it run. You want to see a build success. So we'll see what happens. It still didn't launch the test yet. It's just downloading whatever it needs to download from the project. I'll tell you when it starts kicking off the test case. Done? Right here. Soon as it says tests, and right now the headless browser kicked off with the Chrome driver. Here's test case 1. There's login in again. Most likely test case number 2. Notice it's waiting, meaning it's testing right now in the back end. That's done. 2 test cases are done. You don't need to understand all these writings. Nobody looks at it. And that's a good news. And you want a success here. Okay. Now, so these are two things you want. Scroll up, Robin. A little bit more down. Yeah, right here. These are information you want to look at. That it ran how many test cases, if there were any failures or errors, anything skipped, timing, how long, 38 seconds. And this information, if there were some errors, it's going to be somewhere here. Okay, scroll up now. All the way up. You want to check some information here. Who ran it? What project was ran? Some of this information is going to be like tech files test was the project. Some other informations you may or may not need. Anytime you need to seek something, you can just do Control F and type in that word to see if it's visible. Just brainstorm at your workplace if they need some information to trace back. But other than that, you don't need this page anymore. Okay? Now, notice there is no such link over here says report. But soon as you refresh this page, there will be a menu called report. Robin, refresh your page. Just click on the refresh icon. Okay, this is fine too. See this test results? That is the report. So click on test results. This blue bar means all good. 2 test cases ran. And expand this, click on com.textfiles.qa. Open it up. 20 seconds for the test case to complete. Click on tests. Click on login test. And these are 2 test cases. One is invalid user should not be able to log in, and valid user. And this one took 13 seconds, first one, second one took 6.5 seconds. Both of them passed. There's your report. This is like a bare bone report. When you go to a company, you may find if your supervisor is super smart and has a lot of experience, he may have configured this in a way that when you click on test results, it will take you to that index.html. You remember that in your project, how beautifully it shows up? He may have added more plugins to make that into a pie chart. And it will show you as a red or green in the pie chart. But it's basically same information. How it's displayed, it's up to the company. So don't panic when you see something different. Okay? Now, we're going to fail a test case and look at how the failure looks like in here. All right? So you guys do the same if you want. Go back to your project in Eclipse. In your project, go open up that test file in the test package, login test. All right. Now, if you can expand and close out some of these other windows. Yeah, minimize that. Yeah, close that out. Even that one. Now look at this. Here's a priority one test case. Scroll down. There is a second test case with the priority 2. Copy that second test case. All the way from that priority at test. Okay, and paste it in line number 69. change the name and just add at the very end of this method name expected to fail. No space, and use Pascal case. Okay, we're going to purposefully fail this test. Notice this username here is already wrong. It was expecting a wrong, meaning not show up, the dashboard page not show up. So if we put a right password in here, it will fail. So go ahead and change line number 85. Delete invalid invalid @gmail.com. Just type in the right username, which is techfilesdemo@gmail.com. Okay, now save it. Actually, change that priority to number 3 because we already have 2 priorities there. Make that a 3, and now save it. Go back to Jenkins. Jenkins will take the latest always. So now when you kick off the run, it's gonna take this change from your computer. So go back to that home page where you see this tech files test, and then yes.
I know it's not really we can have more than 24 or 5 priorities, right?
Yeah.
Like unlimited.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now click on tech files test. What do you have to click? Build. Build now. Watch the build right here. Click on it. Go to console out and watch. This time it's not going to take too long. There's the test starting. Most likely this would be your first test case running right now. No browser opening. There's your first login test page, test class running. Second one. And one test case is supposed to fail. Yeah. Which is expected. Okay. Failure is better than getting an error. Our biggest fear is that this is not even going to run. And it will give us some errors that we won't even know how to figure this out. There is no school that teaches this thing. Somebody created this. We've got to find this guy who created this free tool. So we ran 3 test cases. 1 failed. No errors in the test case. Nothing skipped. Build success, however, finished with unstable, meaning not everything passed. That's still okay. All right. Refresh the page. Go to test results. You may have to scroll up. And a section of that you're going to see red. This is actually 33%. It's a bar graph. Notice this is 33%. From here to here is 33%. And here to here is 33%. 3 test cases. 2 passed, 1 failed. Okay. Now, if you expand on this, the very bottom, click on test.login. Sorry, go back. I think I needed to take you to a different one. Yeah, click on this com.txt files. All right, it's bringing this up here for you. Click on test. Now go back. Click on the bottom, yeah, test, and click expand again on that. And these are the 3 test cases. So first one passed, second one failed, and third one passed. If you want to see why it failed, click on that. Notice the one that failed is in bold font because it's trying to draw attention. Click open. It tells you failed. Here's the error message that we had in our assertion error. Invalid user was able to log in. Here's that assertion failure. Okay. It was expecting a false Boolean result, but it found a true Boolean result. If you look at this right here, it gives you a bit of a hint of where you need to debug. So look at this. Fail assert.java. Is that something we created? Yes, no? Did we create a method called fail? No. So this is a systems method. We don't need that info. What about this one? Compare this to this. Which method did we call? The third one, correct. We called a method assert false, didn't we? And it tells you which page number it's on. Sorry, line number. assert.java line number 65. And if you go to the last one, notice here's the class login test.java, right? And that's also giving you that line number. So let's go to Chrome, Eclipse, and here's our login test.java. What was that line number?
89 for this class.
89 for this class.
Yeah.
So it failed right here. And if you control click here, control click on dashboard page, is dashboard displayed? Robin, on line 89, control click on is dashboard displayed? Yeah, click on that. And go to Jenkins. Let me see if that line number matches up.
Actually,
No?
no. For assert false, I think we have to click there. Control for assert false.
Assert false?
Yeah, I click there. Control click there. Then it will take us to the 65 number line.
Okay, let's do that. Go back to Eclipse and go to login test. Control click on
Assert false.
assert false down there on line 89.
89 here. Yeah, here.
Yeah. Click on it. Then this will actually take you to the systems method.
Yeah.
See this? This is a method for assert false. We never created this, but it is on line number 65 where it says fail. This actually causes that execution to fail. And it kind of references there. Where you need to look for, go back to the Jenkins. A lot of these page numbers or line numbers are not for you. These are systems methods. So in this particular case, what's most relevant to you is this very last line. And that tells you where you need to debug exactly which line. This is the class and this is the line number that you need to start with. And that's your starting point. Go back to Eclipse. Go to login test Java. You know that you need to debug right here. My question to you, do you need to check codes? Even if I had codes down here, do I need to check codes down here? Why not? Why don't I need to check if I made any mistakes here for this failure?
Because it's showing line number 89, so we will try to debug from that line.
What about lines before?
Yeah, we need to.
Deepika, why? And why not these?
Because we are starting, the test case is start from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And if the down line is, so it will be from bottom to top. So
That's where the test is.
yeah, that's the test case.
So what does that mean?
So
It's not gonna go bottom and check.
It never executed these. So there cannot be any errors past these statements. It never executed. Now, it failed here. That doesn't still mean the problem is still here.
problem can be.
Okay? I went to a party at 7:30 and I drank a lot of whiskey. Okay? As I'm walking down the road going to my car, I stumble and fall here. And I wake up next day at 10 o'clock when the cops come in and wake me up. And I'm checking what happened on that street that I fell. I may need to go back to what caused me to fall. And it could possibly be somewhere over here that I drank too much. Understand? But this is your starting point. You come here and you look at it and you try to reason that what went wrong. But you can kind of see that it didn't go that far. The problem is right here. This was a valid user. We were supposed to test an invalid user to see if they're able to log in or not. So chances are your failure, the issue is probably going to be found immediately few steps before. Sometimes it's way up here. What did you save as a string? Maybe you saved something wrong. Maybe your expected data is wrong. Could be way up there too. But this would be your starting point. And if this looks everything okay, then you go back one step, check that. You work backward. Understand? That's it.
Question.
Yeah.
When we were in Jenkins and we had report about these three test cases, we put priority 1, 2, 3, but the priority number 3 was the second line. No matter which.
Yeah, that order doesn't matter.
Okay.
So you could have priority 1 on the top test case, priority 3 on the middle test case, and priority 100 on the third test case. Doesn't matter. That way you can design which test case to run first, even if it's in a different class, because you may need that. Good thing is you don't want this test case to depend on another test case. All our test cases are independent. I don't use data out of this test case to apply to this one. No. Why? What if something goes wrong? Then I'm going to have this failing and this failing. Make sense?
Mhm.
If I'm using data out of this one to use it on this one, I can. I can have a global variable string, save the data from one, create a priority so that always it runs this one, and it will save the data in a string. I take that data out of that global string and run it on this one. Sure, we can do that. But if someday this test case failed, it won't be giving me that data that I need for this one. That means this is also going to fail with the bad data. I don't want too many test cases to fail because of one another. Every one of these should be independent. Even though this option gives you a way to do that, we don't use it. We don't prioritize. We let it run however way the project wants to run. And we have multi-threading of 4 different threads. That means 4 test cases run at the same time. So this could be running and this could be running at the same time. When this shuts down, it picks another one from another class on the queue. It stays on the queue, on the line. Okay? Imagine 4 lines. I'll take 4 people. They're filling out their form. Okay, Deepika was like the fastest one. So she filled out her form, she left. Her slot got open, I get somebody else coming in and start filling out the form while the 3 are still completing. It's like that. Works like that. Okay. That's your, you can configure that in something called Selenium Hub, Selenium Grid. So let me take this over. Hey, Robin, thank you so much for doing this. I always pick an online person because it's difficult for online folks to follow than people in the class. And that way, we're a bit slow here, but the class can pick up and we give a chance to the online folks. So I appreciate you doing this. Walk us through this. Let me just close this out.
Thanks.
Thank you. Selenium Grid, you can look it up. If they ask you, what is multi-threading? You're going to explain what? Somebody want to answer that?
Someone asked me about that.
Okay, now you know. So can you tell me?
Oh,
I even gave a filling out the form. You can talk like that. They will like it. Come on, somebody answer. What is multi-threading?
Right. It's like run the multiple test cases at the same time with different browser and
Don't have to say different browser.
Okay.
Then they might dig into that.
Okay.
How would you? Do you need to run it in a different browser?
That's going to come land you.
I want this test case on Internet Explorer. I want this one in Firefox.
This one on
I want that one in Safari. Why? Don't we already have a lot of trouble with all these integrations and things like that? All these errors come up.
But multi-threading can do that, right? Yeah.
Yes, but don't, unless they ask you independently, don't say that. Just use the word simultaneous. Okay. So say it again.
To run the test cases at
Multiple.
the same time
Mhm.
in different platforms. No. Again.
Don't go to the platform. Yes, you can. If they ask you, then say yes. But don't give it, then they will definitely ask you.
That is the actual use of Selenium Grid, running the multiple test cases with different browsers and different platforms, but it's like too advanced, right?
Yes.
So how to answer?
Careful what you say, because in the interview, you need to actually design what you say. Because your next question will come maybe from your answer. So if you answer, you want to answer in a way you throw some words that they ask you on that word that you already know you practiced. It is very hard to do. I'll say it's not easy to orchestrate your answer like that. But you're going to practice. You're going to bomb a lot of interviews initially, and you're going to learn from it. Get up and learn and move on to the next one. But eventually you'll become very good at it. Okay. And so if they ask you about multi-threading, just say that multi-threading is a concept and an option that allows us to run multiple test cases either at the same time, or the word simultaneously means the same thing. Okay?
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Or after that we can add this, whatever example we have given. There are 4 lines.
Did you need me to explain how this work?
Yeah.
You can ask that question, follow-up question. If they dig in, so what do you use to do multi-threading in your project? I would say it's built into the project. Don't go to Selenium Grid. Ours, project that we have, Serenity, it has built in. Just say it's built into the project. Whoever was the architect who designed the project has some code in there to build in, maybe some plugins. I don't know. I'm not an architect. I just automate test cases into the project. That's all. Leave it, walk away. Okay. Don't go any farther. If they ask you what is Selenium Grid, tell them Selenium Grid is another tool that allows multi-threading. At that point, you can say that it is capable of running test cases into multiple platforms. Okay? You don't need to know how to configure those things at all. Understand? To get the job. But if they ask you and you feel like I need to answer that, what does that tell them? You're desperate, right? You're trying to answer all questions. Maybe you don't have a job. Maybe you are fake. I'm recording this. I need to pause. Record this because there might be some information that others. It's by annotation or tags. Yes, annotations or tags. I'll show you on the project how to do this. This project does not have that option. Probably. I did not try it. I never worked with this, but I teach this because it's part of the TechFiles curriculum. Hmm? Yes. So when you do you remember a project having XML file? Smoke.xml. And then there was like regression.xml. We did one. You can group test cases like that on a data-driven. Okay? On data-driven. Maybe I can show you here. I will have to look up the project, but it was somewhere here. Data-driven. This is with Excel. This is with XML. See that? It was session 9. And I don't know if I have a screenshot. There's that XML file. We created a file. We injected the data into it, remember? And then we had a list of test cases. We had to right click on that XML file and run. That's how you can run a group of test cases. You can have a group of smoke test cases. This one, who can tell me how many test cases is it running? How many test cases will this XML file run? One? Two. There's one. And here's another. And you can have more of these. And here's the data that is going into this test case called add contact test. Here's the test case, login test. And this data is going into that test. You're running it from here. It's data-driven testing framework, okay? So you could say for data-driven framework that I worked in one of the past companies, we had XML files with a group of test cases in it. And we ran those files to run those test cases as a group. Right now, you're gonna say, which framework are you working on? With BDD, because that's gonna make you most attractive. And in BDD, you are, I don't wanna open up BDD right now. Let me just open it up to show you. Switch workspace, BDD. While that's loading, you need to watch some videos. Adnan may or may not suggest you, but these are some things that I found very helpful for the interviews. Interview taking is a skill. Interview taking tips. Let me see if I can find which one I was. I will look at the picture. I'll remember how to succeed in an interview. I did watch this guy. There was a 3 questions asked. Oh, this one. 8 smart questions to ask hiring manager in a job interview.
Everything in life is a negotiation.
Just watch this for a second. Not gonna play the whole thing.
Interview is, how did you come to work? Give you 8 smart questions to ask hiring managers in job interviews. But before I do that, I just want to remind you to click the link below, subscribe, hit the bell to get instant notifications every time we create new sort of content to help you get ahead. All right, so what do you do when you're in an interview and we get to that end where the hiring manager looks at you and says, do you have any questions for me? Well, of course you do. In fact, it is very important that you ask questions. I want to tell you that recently, an employer I know reached out to me frustrated and said, I hate when I ask that question and the person says, no, everybody's been really nice. I think I'm okay. That person, he told me, does not get hired. And the reason for that is that they have real concerns if you aren't asking questions, if you aren't doing your due diligence, and if you aren't having enough value in yourself to ask and clarifying questions to make sure that this place is the right place for you. Remember, we always tell you here at Working Daily that you are a business of one, selling your services to an employer, and you want to make sure that it's a good partnership. So to do that, you've got to ask questions to make sure that this is the right place for you. It's like kicking the tires or looking under the hood to make sure that you're making a good investment. With that in mind, let's take a look at the 8 questions you should be asking in your next interview. So before I break down the 8 questions, I'm going to tell you that they fall into 4 categories. We call them the 4 C's. Now, by covering off on these 4 C's, you're going to make sure that you're asking all the questions necessary to make a good decision about this employer. And those 4 C's are connect, culture, challenges, and flows. What do I mean by that? Well, connect simply is you connecting to that hiring manager, that person that you'll be working with. You want to ask some questions to help you bond in the interview. As far as culture goes, you want to make sure this is the right corporate culture for you. Does this company believe and have values and go about business in a way that you respect and that you trust, that you can put your best foot forward? With respect to challenges, you want to know what's keeping them up at night, so that you can make sure these are the kinds of challenges that you actually want to work on and leverage your skills to be successful at. And then lastly, close. You want to end this interview, this conversation on a high note. You want to leave very clear and what the next steps are. So once we know the 4 C's, it gets really easy to create questions that we can ask in the interview to make sure that we're getting the information we need. And that's what I'm going to show you next. So we're starting with connect.
Do you want to watch this, or can you watch this on your own? Okay. So now she's going to go into how to phrase those questions on those 4 C's. If you can push these 4 buttons with your questions, it's so good. It works. I really used this on my first, and that was my only face-to-face interview that got me the job. And I was repeating the questions so that I'm making sure I'm asking multiple times on culture, trying to match them with me that I am going to fit into your culture. Okay? How you dress and go over there matters. Okay? If they see too much of a different style and difference, they may kind of back off a little bit. So you want to go in as neutral colors as possible. White, possibly. You don't want to be too much. Don't take any bags with you, or like, I don't mean by like literally bag, but we bring in a lot of baggage with us sometimes. You want to show that you are there, you are a neutral human being, and you're ready to conform to whatever they want you to do. And you're fluid, flexible, you're willing to change. Okay? They like that. People like that. People like that. So, watch this and practice that. On this particular note, I don't know if you noticed when Barack Obama was going for the presidency, if you notice his speech, every time he has a paragraph, at the end he keeps saying, "That's why I want to be the president of the United States of America." He repeated that word over and over. Every time in the debate, there was something, he would finish off with saying, "And this is why. And that's why America needs me as the president." I mean, he would rephrase and just say, President, President, President Barack Obama. And human psychology is that they end up taking it as like, he's the one, right? So if you ask these 4 C questions and you hear their response, this is my addition to this thing. When you ask this question, like, so what are some challenges you are facing in your company right now? What are some challenges that you have in the QA department? You need to know that. If you don't ask that question, you would only ask that question if you already have a job. You want to make sure that this is the right place for you, right? If you don't have a job, you just came into the market and you don't have any experience, you're desperate, you don't have any questions. Just give me the job. No, when is it gonna end? When are you gonna call me? Give me the contract. No, you are not that person. Okay? You are the person that if this is not the right place for you, I am not gonna take the offer. So you're gonna ask questions like this strategically, but in yourself you know that you want it. You take it, whatever. But with them, you wanna be a little step back, show a little reserve, ask those questions, give them time to answer. Don't try to cut them off. Maybe ask more follow-up questions. If you see there's something there that interviewer is talking more, and you can see the body language that they're feeling good about talking. Everybody feels good about talking when they're talking. When they're listening, that's when they don't want to listen. Okay, so you want to talk less. If you can turn the table where interviewer talks more, you got to go. Because they have opened up. That means they felt comfortable with you. They have already chosen you. That's why they're giving out information. That's your sign that you have done things right, or you got chosen. Understand? Don't try to cut them off when you take. No, if they're talking, let them keep talking. You just chill, all right? And if you see there's something in his response, and you feel like if I ask a follow-up question on that when he stops, he might answer more, feel good about himself, ask that question. And then you will see more conversation continuing. And he keeps talking. Hours going past, he thinks he asked you a lot of questions. Actually, you asked him questions. Okay, and he thinks that you are the best because you answered all the questions. Actually, he answered your questions. Okay, so you play this psychological game. Do you have a question?
No, it happens with me. The interviewer, he said, you want to ask any question? I said no. Then he start talking about weather of India, and then he start talking about the city of India where I was also there, and then he start talking all type of greenery, concrete, and and all means everything. Were you there? Have you visited that city? How come you are here? Means all that questions which I'm. It was just like we are catching up with each other.
You will be selected.
It's all good.
I don't know because
Let's
I
do it.
have again interview, but the thing is, he was just like, well, it's really cold out here. I don't know what was going on with him, but he was just killing time with me.
Maybe, but here's where you want to kill time on. That might maybe seem like he had a tough day. He just wanted to vent.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
But still not get selected.
No, he say, yeah, I have interview again.
Also, that's good. He liked you. Where you want to expand on is what are the challenges? What do you expect from this position? What will be my goal for 1 year? How, in this position, how would I measure myself that I was successful, that I'm successful? Okay? These are smart questions. If you ask those questions, that tells you the interviewer, you have been in the business for so long. Okay? You already have an established job. You've been getting $100,000 for the last 7 years. And now you want more. You want a better environment. Make sense? And that's going to get you the job. When they say, this is my challenge, and my boss, well, I just came in, this is my 7th month. Everything is a mess. He says that. There is no test case written anywhere. There's multiple projects going on. We are short-handed. We don't have enough people. There is no organization of any work. Everything needs to be organized. So it's going to be tough. It's a tough position. I said, that's what I like. And that's why I want to work for this company, like the president. That's why I want to be the president of the United States of America. So I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. This is where I fit in because I'm getting bored of what I'm doing because it's all smoothed out. I want to go into a place that has issues where I can use my skill to organize, iron out things, and I can brag about it, saying that I did that as a team. Okay? Sold. Already the interviewer is thinking, yeah, he wants it. He wants pain. Really don't. I need money. Okay? But I have this painful place. Okay? This is a job. It's not like, it's not a party. I'm not going to buy him drinks. It's not me coming and working in a messy place. You would want to convey that's what you want. If you want it the most, you will be chosen first. Understand? So that's why you need to dig into their issues. Okay? Did you have anybody else before this in this position? You're digging in. Then may I say, yeah, why did he leave? Was there any particular reason? Might say, yeah, this was too much work for him and stuff. Well, I'm not that kind of person. I like work. You see that? You back and forth with answer. You create questions from him. You investigate him, the interview, the job area, and then you go in and demonstrate with your logic. Always finish off with that paragraph like the president. That's why I want to work for this company as a QA. Because you reinforce in his brain, you are the one as you're doing that. Okay? Mine 3.5 hour interview, 3 teams, 1 hour each. And 30 minutes of the last was with the director. Every one of these teams, I use my 4C of questioning trying to match with the culture. And I asked more questions on my first one. They asked me more technical questions. Second one was on culture. Third one was integration or something. Developers came in and they wanted to see who is this QA? Is this QA gonna make our life hell?
You need to do some like Java code or you could do that.
Yeah, that was my first 1 hour. The developers understand the psychology, okay? My first interviewer was all the QA leads. And they want to know whether I want to take the challenge. They want to know whether I'm going to create a structure for them, clean up the mess. Okay? What kind of person am I? Am I going to learn quick? Do I know the technology? And I didn't. I answered poorly. He told me later, you are not the best on the technology. But I felt like I can work with you, that I can teach you. So you want to leave that there. Okay? You want to make eye contact? Connect with the person. Look them in the eye. Tell them you're serious about it. You are serious. You've been doing this for 4 months, 6 months. You need a good job. It depends on that interview. So you're serious. You look him in the eye and you tell him that you want this. Okay? Not because you're desperate, but you want to grow. That's why you're going over there. And when the developers come in to interview you, they want to, the sweetest thing they want to hear, first of all, they hate you. Because you're a QA, you're gonna review my code with something called automation, not manually. You're gonna have code that's gonna check my code, whether it's good or bad. I don't like you. Okay? Naturally, they don't like you. But what they want to hear, how are you? Are you kind of like cocky? Hey, Rustam, what did you write? This failed over here. This button doesn't work. No, you don't want to hear that, right? Would you like me if I did that? No. So you want to tell them what they want to hear. They are going to ask you questions in a tricky way, trying to get out of you what kind of person you are. Are you going to make their life hell? They want to know that. You want to kind of be smart enough to understand, is that phishing that they're trying to do with me? Okay, let me give them what they want to hear. Okay? So your response should be, I don't know how they're going to ask you the question, but here's what you're going to say. Even if they don't ask you, you need to say this. Somehow, when they ask you, do you have any questions? If you don't have any questions, just say, I don't have any questions, but I do want to assure you on something. Make sense? If it's a developer, tell them that I always think that developers are the key to the company. QAs are nothing. Okay? You guys are the bread and butter of the company. We just follow your lead. All right? We're just an assistant, but you're the cream of the crop. So I really admire what you do and all the things you learn. Get that across? When there is a bug found, I am not quick to writing bug ticket. Bug ticket is work for them. They don't like that. Okay? I always consulted with my manager or my teammate. Obviously, I've done a manual test before that. Even after a manual test, if I feel like there's a bug, I consulted with my teammate. He's thinking, nice. She's still keeping the problem there, not coming to me yet, consulting that. That's good. They want to hear that. Okay? As soon as you write a bug ticket, it's like, oh my God, it's on me now. All right? So, and then if my supervisor, QA lead agrees this is a bug, then I reach out to the developer. I don't create a bug ticket yet. He wants to hear that. He wants to hear 100 things you have done before you create a bug. Bug ticket is killer. He doesn't want that. So then I reach out to the developer. I ask, with the screenshots and stuff. Hey, what do you think about this? Is it how it's supposed to be, or am I getting it wrong? Maybe I got it wrong. Okay? They might ask you, how do you resolve the conflict when developer thinks it's not a bug, but you think it's a bug? Did you get a question like that? You were nodding. What do you think they're fishing for? Are you gonna make my life hell? All right? So you know this is the best. If you get that question, you know you have that answer. If there is a conflict of perception, whether this is a bug or not, I always meet up casually with the developer and table it out and discuss it. Okay? It may be a mistake on our end. Always point finger at you, not someone else. They will like you for that. Okay? Maybe I did not understand the requirement better. Maybe this is how it was supposed to, and we were not understanding, so we discussed that. If that's the case, we go and fix our test case and we close that and it's not a bug. But if there is a conflict there on the requirements, then we might go to another person who is more or knowledgeable about the requirements. Who would that be? Or who works close to BA? Business analysts write the tickets for the developers to work on. So if you can't get to the product owner, you may be the director of product development for your company. You may be busy, but your team has a BA. You wrote the requirements. You go talk to him, maybe all three of you together, and we discuss. If the team decides, not you, if the team decides it is a valid bug, we go ahead and file a bug report. If not, there's no conflict. Done. Understand? That's it. If you can convey those information to the developers, they're going to love you. They will know that you're not quick. You don't have a trigger finger. Or if they make a mistake, you shoot them. You wait, you check, and make sure everything is good. When you get to the director or something, you already got the job. They will take you to that level when they feel like everything's good. Director doesn't know anything. They will just be like, they will talk about themselves, they talk about the project, what else it's doing, and it's basically like telling you what's going on. Most likely you leave and they'll give you a job offer. Okay? Yes.
Is this like a contract or
Full time.
and that's why we had multiple interviews?
Yes. And even with the contract, you can have multiple interviews. A contractor will call you, interview you, select it, then contractor supervisor will have a face-to-face interview with you, possible, selected. Then supervisor is going to send you to the company where you're going to get hired. They might face-to-face interview you. If you pass that, then that's it. So it can be any combination of any ways possible. You want the company interview quick. Recruiter interviews are horrible. They don't know stuff. They have a script. They have the answers written down. They don't even know the technology. Okay? They have never done this. They make less money than you do when you become an automation engineer. So they don't know the answer. But they're looking for those keywords. If you don't answer with those keywords, they may think you answered it wrong. Actually, you probably didn't. But this guy doesn't know it. He has the keyword match. Good. Doesn't match. Don't think you know. I'll move on to the next question. That doesn't mean that you did bad. Okay? If he or she kind of acts like, no, actually I was looking for something. He's actually looking at the script. He doesn't want to give you the answer. Just say that maybe I have explained it in a way that doesn't make sense, but I do know this, and if you want me to expand on it, you can rephrase the question and tell me. Something like that?
That's true, because one recruiter asked the spelling of APM also from me. Means they don't know the spellings also. They are just sitting and.
I got caught with APM in a trap. asked me, do you know APM? Have you done mobile testing? I am like, everything is yes. I need the job. This is my first few interviews, okay? Over the phone. Bad idea. That taught me no. So I said yes. So he started asking me questions. What is backward compatibility? What is forward compatibility? If I thought about it, I could have actually figured it out on the spot, but it was so quick. I didn't think about backward compatibility. Compatibility was a big work. Okay, so we have an operating system. Latest, is it backward compatible? Meaning, if you have an older version of operating system, backward, will it compatible? Will it work? That's all the answer was. And forward compatibility. So whatever version you have, new versions come up. Will I be still able to use the app for that other version? That was it. Didn't know the answer, so I said, I can't recall. That was my response whenever I didn't know it. And I could feel on the other end, he just went, oh, you are not real. And that was the end of the interview. It's like, okay, we'll let you know if you got selected or not. But that was like, if you don't know those two simple things, how can you be a mobile tester? Those were the key questions. But if I said that I don't have any experience with mobile testing, but I know how APM works, because I've done Selenium with similar, and I can learn it, then he would have thought, this person is honest.
Yeah, don't ask APM questions.
Yeah, let me move on to something else, because, yeah, this job requires APM. She's not a good fit, but I don't want to lose her. Let me just finish the interview, hold on to him. When I get a job with Selenium, I already done the interview, I know. I'm going to forward him over, fast track. But I lost that too, because I lied. So just be honest to yourself. That's all, guys. There's so much more to tell you, but this is all I have. It still went past the time. Online guys, any questions?
Yes, Stein.
Go ahead.
First thing is about the videos. Those are not uploaded yet.
Yeah.
For a month, I guess. Now it will be 5 videos. Those are not uploaded.
Yes, I will upload these videos today and give it a couple of days for AP to post it on Object Spy, and you should have it.
Okay, and do we have any review class or no?
You think you are the best.
Yeah. So keep up the good work. Okay. Thanks. Good luck to you all. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. You can message me on LinkedIn too, but I don't check much, so answer may be late. Okay. All right. Closing this out. Compressing the video after.
Message you on group me for any questions. You can.
I don't check group me much.
Then how to contact you if you need to?
You contact the TechFiles teachers, the administration, and they will have to give you access if they want to. Yes.